Afternoon. Yeah, we're really excited about this week. We're excited to prepare for the Colts, big time matchup for us. So we're really looking forward to it. Had a really good day of work today, our first one, prepping for the Colts. So excited about all of our guys are out there, available, working. Excited about the work that we put in today.
How much can you use non-Richardson Colts stuff from last year as you prepare for their offense?
As we prepare, right, it's we look at everything. Right? We look at everything. No, Richardson had a sample size of plays, not many. So still a young player in this league, still has a lot ahead of him. All right, a lot of ball ahead of him, but we just go off of what we see. That's all we can do. Focus on what we've seen on tape, and try to work from there.
Coach, what you built here as far as the culture, the mentality, and what you built in that locker room, what does it say about the players voting Stephon Diggs as a captain?
And with our captain vote, I'm excited about who our guys pick. I feel like the guys know, right? That's that captain decision. I'm excited about it because it's not my vote. It's not my decision, right? It's the men in the locker room who are around each other, who work together on the field and truly get to know each other. And that's who they feel like our leaders are. And, it says a lot about all 7 men who were selected, like the impact that they have on our team, the impact that they have on all the players, young and veteran, right? It's really cool to see, for Diggs being his first year here with us and him getting elected as a captain. I think that's a special moment, and it shows the type of man that he is, the type of leader that he is, and the impact that he'll have on our team throughout this year.
Why did you and the organization think it was important to extend Davis Mills?
Extending Davis is something that he earned, right? Davis had a really great training camp. You saw big-time improvement from last year to this year. Thought he handled camp really well, playing some of his best ball in training camp. He went out and proved it, and it's snaps that he was able to get in the preseason. So everything Davis has gotten, he's earned, and he's done a really great job for us this year.
We've talked to you about expectations, and you say they don't change. You've also talked about rat poison. How does a player go eat rat poison, and how do they avoid eating rat poison? What exactly is that?
Yeah, I hope they don't mess with rat poison. Players just got to focus on themselves and execute it, and that's it, right? It's what you're speaking of, rat poison. It's what I defer to as just outside noise, right? And in today's world, it's so much at our fingertips of social media, and everybody pretty much has an opinion on something, right? Not necessarily being that it has to be true, but anybody can say anything they want, and it's news now, right? And it's a slight to you guys who put in the work, right, every day and are here and see, what the guys go through on a day-to-day basis. But our guys can't get caught up into whoever is saying what on the outside. It truly doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is about you focusing on yourself and going out and proving to your teammates that you're going to be reliable. You're going to be exactly where you're supposed to be. You're going to do exactly what you're supposed to do on each and every play. And that's how we operate here.
Was it easier to avoid when you played as opposed to now with the new age and a lot more social media stuff?
Oh yeah, for sure. When we played, it was easy. We only had John writing positive articles, so we didn't have any. It was nice and easy for us, right? So it was we didn't have to worry about the Twitter and all the other things there.
DeMeco, I'm wondering if you could maybe kind of compare and contrast the feeling of last year compared to what it feels like for you all as this year going into this season.
We're fired up going into the season. It doesn't, right? It's new beginnings. We're fired up about the 2024 season, fired up about our team, right? And just excited to kick it off and get going, right? So we can stop having questions about last year. So I'm excited about 2024 and pressing forward and seeing what this year lies in store for us.
It looks like everybody's really excited to see some of your new additions in a real game. Are you among those people that are just excited to see how they kind of work together when it matters?
Yeah, I've seen these guys working together, so I'm excited for everyone else to see, how our guys have been working here throughout training camp and OTAs, right? They've done a great job of working really well together. All three phases has done a really great job, starting with the coaches and getting the guys ready to go. So I'm excited for everyone else to see what our guys will look like this year.
You knew that you were going to be without.
Go ahead, John.
You knew that you were going to be without Christian Harris coming into for the first couple of weeks. What have you seen from Jake Hansen and Aaron Toa? How much have they learned from just being around Aziz?
And not having Christian is tough. Christian really, he took a jump as the year went on last year. Was really excited about his growth, and he was in a really great spot for us. So it hurts not having him. With the young guys who are behind him, right? Henry, Jake, Delshawn, all those guys have to step up and just do their part, right? They don't have to be Christian. They just have to do what they're supposed to do, play our style of football, and they'll be just fine.
Speaking of excitement, I know it's going to be a total team effort, but what does excite you about what your two ends and what Anderson and Neil Hunter can do as a duo and wreaking havoc on offenses this season?
Yeah, with the ends, with Daniil and Will, right? What excites me is their potential to wreak havoc, right, in any passing situations, right? Their ability to disrupt the pocket, to disrupt the quarterback, like that's what excites me. And if we want to play really good on defense, right, when they're passing the football, those two guys have to impact the game for us, right? And if they show up and impact the game, it'll be easier for our guys on the back end.
DeMeco, the way that Nico kind of took over the last time he played the Colts, how much is that really emblematic of what you see from him in all facets of his game?
For Nico, that's who he's been. Nico is a playmaker. Every time I see him, I call him he's a true playmaker. So you just have to get Nico the ball in any way, shape, or fashion. Just find a way to get him the ball, and just to see how explosive and how dynamic he is when he touches the football. Right? He made some big plays for us last year. Expecting the same this year.
How much of an emphasis is it for you or for you guys as a team to set the tone up early? I know you said you want to talk about last year.
Yeah.
Both teams that won the games last year set the tone with big explosive plays early in the game. How much of the emphasis is that for y'all?
Yeah, part of it is setting the tone, but it's also about how you finish, right? And that's the most important thing. Like everybody says they want to jump out to a fast start, right? That is important. We want to jump out to a fast start, but I'm harping on with our guys. It's all about how we finish, right? That's how you win these games, right? He may throw some things at us we haven't seen, right? Same thing for them. There was a lot of unknowns, right, in the first game. So it's just about surviving those unknowns and then being able to finish in the fourth quarter.
You got
DeMeco, his work ethic has been second to none since he's joined the team. Kamari Lassiter just now making his first real major start in an NFL game. Do you ever come away impressed with how quickly he's adjusted to NFL speed?
Kamari has not impressed me with how quickly he's, come away with it, because he's been the same, right, since I go back to Georgia. He's been the same guy, completely locked in, laser focused. Every time that he touches the field, doesn't say much, still doesn't say much, but he makes plays. So that hasn't surprised me. I'm excited to see him get his first start and see him just play big time ball for us.
I know you don't want to talk about the past, but you do have a history with Indianapolis when representing the Texans, going back to a player. Is there anything that kind of like any emotions or memories, like every time you pull up to that stadium, that resurface at all?
Not for me. It's I played there a lot of times, so as I go in now, man, I'm truly just focused on what do we have to do to come out of there with a win. Always been a tough environment, tough place to play. There's a rowdy fan base there. They get loud there, so it's going to be tough for our guys to communicate on offense. But man, my focus is truly on whatever it takes for us to come out of there with the win. That's what I'll be focused on.
You guys played a ton of one-possession games last year.
Right.
You harped on just how the margin of error and how tight it is coming into the season more than you have in the past, or just in a different way or anything like that?
Yeah, the margin of error, it doesn't change, right? And we talked about that in the offseason, right, how close each game is in the NFL. That's why people talk about sneaking up on someone or expectations. it's just about, man, you got to be able to finish games, right? Finish games in 2-minute situations, whatever it take. You have to be smart in those situations, and you have to be able to execute. So we never lose sight of that, and our guys have to be able to own situational football, and it's very important to win in the NFL. You have to be smart in situations, and you have to win those.
DeMeco, how important is you to run the ball better than last season, especially when you get down close to the goal line?
It's very important, John, to run the ball, right? To be good, a good red zone offense, right? You have to be able to run the ball, right? All offenses in the history of the league that have been really good in the red zone, they've been able to run the ball, right? And that's what it's going to take for us. Like, can we run the ball in to score in the red zone? The space gets limited when you try to throw the ball. There are a lot of tight windows. So we're going to rely, heavily on Joe and the offensive line to really set the tone in the running game.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We'll open the locker room in like 10
Thank you.
minutes.
It means a lot. It's a divisional game against a great opponent. They're very, very well coached. Have a lot of guys who fly around in all three phases. So it'd be a great first challenge for us, and we're very excited to go up to Indy and play the Colts.
What do you think of Richardson as a player? Do you guys have a relationship?
I think of him as a all-around quarterback. Somebody who can make all the throws, can also run the ball dynamically and be effective in that area. Somebody who has bought into that offense. Watching him in preseason, he looked like he was clicking on all cylinders. Like he's processing the game a lot better, and just taking his reads, taking what the defense is giving him. And we have a relationship. He's definitely a good friend of mine and somebody who I root on. When we're not playing him, but definitely somebody who I've gotten to know over the years, and definitely have a friendship with him that I think will last a long time.
What is Dave? Go ahead.
Henry just talked to us about kind of DeMeco setting a standard and the players grabbing it and kind of setting their own standard. How have you seen that kind of evolve in terms of the daily work that it takes for you guys to reach the goals that you have?
Yeah, we started that back in the beginning of training camp with all the expectations, all the outside noise. It's all about just working, and that was our motto, is just work. As DeMeco set that standard, as players, we have to hold each other accountable and just keep working towards our goals, and knowing that if we work hard enough and we, own our details and own the little things in our jobs, that, we'll be hard to beat.
What kind of relationship do you and Davis have and be able to create over the last couple of years now that he just resigned?
Me and Davis have, created a great relationship. When I first came in, he's always been really quiet, but as time has went on, he's definitely helped me out a ton. He helps me out not only on the field, also off. We have our little dinners and whatnot, and just being able to talk to him and his wife and, see where they come from, and just really just have brotherhood and fellowship has been amazing, in that quarterback room, which I think is huge, So I'm very excited for him, very happy for him. And, he's grown as a player, in my opinion, of just in this offense, of owning it, owning his role and doing the things for the team to get better, and I'm very happy and proud of him.
What do you remember about last year as you went to your first start on the road? It was a little bit of unknown. You had played your first NFL game versus now start on the road again, but a place you had success, but just in general start of the year, this year versus maybe how it was last year.
Yeah, you kind of know what to expect, just a little bit more, but then you also don't know what to expect because it's week one. So, I'm very excited because it is a great challenge and it is a divisional game. And we know what happened there last year, and that's over with now. We have to move on because we know they're going to be very highly motivated, to get their get back as they should, So we got to be on our game and on our details, on our job, and make sure that, we're able to, execute at a high level in that type of environment because it's going to be rocking. And, we're excited for that challenge. And, I think they are too, so it's going to be a great matchup to watch.
Back to last year as well, week 2, you had the hurt shoulder, the offensive line was depleted, and after the game you came up, you praised your teammates. Do you think that kind of set the tone for just being a leader and establishing yourself as a leader of this team?
I feel like it was a multitude of things, but, I definitely think that week we took a step. I think last year, that stuff is done now, so I definitely do think that took a step for our standard and how we're going to run this organization, on the player coach side of things was just kind of the grit that, it wasn't pretty. We definitely, the Colts got after us that day, but, it definitely set a tone that we weren't going to just shy away. We were going to play all 4 quarters and try to play tough as possible, and it just really took time to, build trust and things like that. So, I definitely think that definitely took a step for what we're seeing now last year.
How have you kind of grown in just your approach in meetings, your communication with meetings, and things like that? How have you grown in that?
I feel like I've grown, one, of just like trusting Bobby and everything that he stands for when it comes to just philosophy and how he calls it. So, I've been able to go and just watch games with him and, pick his brain and see how he watches film and, why he calls certain plays when he calls them and whatnot. And then on top of that, I've been able to, I wouldn't say I ever did have a filter because that's just not my personality, but I definitely like know how to, you know, I don't know how to really phrase this, but me and him just have more of an understanding of, you know, things that I like to get done that I don't like to do or what I like to do. It's just more comfortability. It was what I would say. Nothing bad. Like nothing was ever negative. Don't get me wrong. We've always had a good open communication, but I think both of us are just a lot more comfortable being around each other from day in and day out, of scheme to practice to, you know, conversation away from ball, like just everything. We're just more comfortable with each other.
Skill players you have and the offensive line. What do you think about the overall quality of this offense, especially the receiving corps?
Yeah, I think strategically, I think Nick did a great job of, you know, building us from top to bottom, really bottom to top, you know, looking both ways. He's done a good job of filling in the spots we felt like we needed, and then, you know, bringing in guys who we thought that we felt fit our style to play. And, you know, I think DeMeco and Nick and really just our front office done a great job of, you know, bringing guys together not only would fit the X's and O's, but fit each other personality-wise. You know, I think y'all in the locker room with us at times, you know, we see how close we are. We're always playing, we're always smiling, always having fun, and we're all really competitive. And, you know, everybody wants to eat, which I think is a great thing. So, you know, I think it starts with our front office and what they've done. And, you know, we're just excited to have, you know, a close-knit team.
Build on that, you specifically with Mixon and Diggs, everybody seems so excited to see them in this offense in a game that really matters. How are you feeling at the, you know, getting the chance finally to play the game with them that counts?
Yeah, I'm very excited. You know, I think we got to see glimpses in training camp, but now it's full go. Now it's time to roll, and you know, those guys are two of the most competitive guys I've ever been around, and really two of the most joyful guys who just love playing ball. You know, love showing up to work every day and being around the guys, love like knowing their teammates and you know helping guys out. You know, I know Steph got named a captain, which is huge because you know he earned it. You know what I mean? And he's one of the biggest leaders on the offense, and I think, you know, Joe would be a captain pretty soon just because his personality and, you know, how he brings guys along, makes guys around him better, you know, challenges his guys. And I think both of those guys have done a great job of buying in the system and growing in the system, and, you know, they're going to do great things.
Please talk a little bit about your ability to handle those messy pockets, get stuff at your feet, not being able to be on the platform. I know some of that's instincts, but how can you go about kind of helping the offensive line when it is one of those situations and succeeding when there is sort of a messy pocket?
Yeah, I kind of go back to, you know, a coach I had in college, Todd Fitch, who's at LSU now. And he always told me, like, you're hard to stop when you have good eyes and good feet. And another thing that I run with now and it's stuck in my mind is, you know, how can the most important thing as a quarterback is making the guys around you better. And so if our O-line have a really tough matchup on the edges, you know, and they're going to widen those guys, it's my job to step up. It's my job to make those guys right, to make them better, you know what I mean? So I take that very seriously, drills and watching tape and watching guys around the league do it, you know, from back in the past to now, on just like film of how pockets move, how guys tee and twist and try to get you off your mark. And but all that, you got to be able to look and read the defense at the same time, which isn't easy to do. But, you know, it's a lot to do with instincts and my God-given talent, but also, you know, just a lot of hard work with Gerard and Bobby and Bill Lazor, Leander, Shane Day last year. Just a lot of groundwork that we put in.
We got time for two more guys.
CJ, you get to play against defense every practice, but Kamari coming on in as a rookie. DeMeco said that he's been a constant since the start of OTAs when he was a rookie mini camp. Do you sometimes just have to remember that he's a rookie and still learning? And have you seen a cornerback of his skill set transition as quickly as he has?
Yeah, personally, I mean, I kind of, you know, I relate to him in a lot of ways of just like mindset. You know, I can see how he loves the game and he's very hard on himself. But I think he can admit to this too. Like like at least for me last year, I didn't consider myself a rookie. I consider myself a football player, you know, and it was my job to be the quarterback of the Texans. And I think he takes it on as a challenge. It's his job to be a really good corner for the Texans, you know. So, and if he has that mindset, you know, there's going to be ups and downs. But the person I see at practice and the person I played against in college and, now, he's undeniable and he's going to compete. He's never going to tuck his tail and shy away. So I'm super proud of that dude, man. He showed up day in and day out, gave us honest looks. And, I think he knows that, guys will be going at him, and he likes that challenge. And for me last year, I knew that guys were going to be blitzing and changing coverages and doing the crazy stuff. But when I focus on what I had to focus on and, just on my details, and that's when I started elevating and getting more confident. So, all the things that me and him talk on a day-to-day basis, and I'm just really, really happy for him and excited to see what he does on Sunday.
CJ, of course you want to win more games, but what is something that you want to do that's more important to you than anything you did last year? You want to improve on the place?
I would say, for me, I would say I wanted to start faster. It doesn't have to do with, a certain game, just, in general, the season. Last year we started off really slow and just kind of had to, build our way back. And, it's not an easy thing to do. So I would say this year is, we want to start fast. We want to gain confidence early. I think we put in the work for training camp, and now, it's just it's up to us to go out there and do it this Sunday and, put our best foot forward. But, really just that was my big thing, is just starting fast.
It's not a surprise, but it does have to be earned. What does it mean for you that your guys in the locker room lose you a captain once again, week in and week out, doesn't win with you on Sundays to help the team?
Yeah, man, it's probably the biggest honor for me, bigger than any accolade, any reward, because it's not, like you said, it's not something that's just given, especially, me being a young guy still, even last year I was kind of surprised, just because, I really never, I wanted to be a captain early on, but it wasn't, something I was forcing. And for them to just kind of, notice it and, want me to be in that role was just an honor and a blessing. So, I don't take it lightly, and it's something that I'm really, proud of, not only just myself, but the other guys who were named captains as well. So, I'm really just thanking God that I have the opportunity to be in Houston with this great organization, this great team, to be able to, have brothers like I do day in and day out to lean on. So, I hope they know they can lean on me on and off the field through anything. So, all right, man. Have a good one.